Hi there, everybody. I am back and I am here again from my vacation that lasted for a while. And I just wanted to say that I've learned and picked up a lot of things from my experience while I was being away. And I have also have collected some of the bad experiences as well as really good ones that could last for a long time. A quick update, I have also gotten a new tattoo, which is this one on my arm. It's Freya, which is the cat goddess tattoo that I have. Very proud of it. An update as well, it's almost May soon. Just a few months till May that I haven't cutted my hair short since May last year. So now it has really grown into a really nice, like wolf cut, a little bit longer than it was before. Okay, so I'm going to break down to you the things that I've learned being on my trip in the province, and as well as I have also gathered some people, friends, and experiences along the way. And there's a lot of things that I wanted to share with you today about my learnings from that experience. I went into a meditation camp. I have joined with them, and it is such a blissful moment, bad and good and bad experience I have collected along the way. But for the good ones is I managed to believe in three things and have it as a mantra or a dogma that I have gathered by my own self, which is three are slow pace body, structured mind, and stillness of my soul. I really believe that being still in our own and having a slow paced body and structured mind is very important in our daily lives. First and foremost, we have to slow down. Not everything has to be rushed, it has to be patient, slow, and steady. And I think everything what's meant for us will come to us, no matter how fast we go, no matter how slow we go, or how we just stay focused in a present time, in our present, and that is so much more important than actually looking towards the past or towards the future. Another one of the things that I've learned as well is to form boundaries. It's very important to take note of this because a lot of the times we tend to be very close to a friend or to somebody that we sometimes get the best of it, and we don't really stay focused, or like I mean is we sometimes get lost or we forget ourselves about our boundaries and where we are in our lives, like we talk too much or we share too much of ourselves with them. I think it is very important to have this sort of boundary in all people, family members, relatives, friends, anybody, your partner, your best friend. It is important to have that as your own sake, for your own sake, for your mental health, for your own good, and for our overall well being. This one I have struggled for a while, which is if I know myself, I'd have peace within. For me, this is very important as well. These are all important, what I have listed down to share to you today in this podcast and vlog, only because I really want to share this to everybody who listens to this video, and as well as I would want to go back to this video and listen to myself. So if I know myself, I should have peace within that it doesn't disrupt my mood or my sense of self and my beliefs, and if I am really firm with who I am and what I am, nothing and no one can disturb that peace within myself. So I really think that that is very important to have a step back and reflect on What did that person say to you or to me, to someone else, that it shouldn't leave us as affected as we are or as we were, because it's not important to give a certain reaction to anything that is light, or it doesn't really mean that anything that is offensive to you or to me as a second person is, it doesn't mean that if it's offensive to you that you have to show a reaction that is not that great for yourself, because often than not reactions are really what drags us down emotionally. So I think that that kind of disturbing or disruptive emotion is actually a really hard way to, it's a really hard feeling, and it's not as calming, I would say. So as much as possible, guard and protect your own self too, your own well-being, overall well-being. It's an overall health wellness as well. And it's very important to look out for yourself, because who else will? One of the last things I wrote is not to talk and say a lot of information, keep it low key and minimal. As much as possible, leave a space for mystery. I really think that this is important, especially for myself. I really resonate towards this because I talked too much recently, and I didn't really do this for the past years of my life. I have only really recalled being selective and being a little bit reserved and more reserved, I guess. And I still am reserved right now. And I think I need to get in touch with that side of me again, to not to be overly too much in sharing information. And I think that it's very important to also have that self reflection every now and then with our weak points and our where we really got lost in touch with ourselves, and that we need to have a step back to in order to recall and reflect and think things through properly before doing a certain action or saying things to somebody. So, in all of these pointers in my video, I really, really think that these are all very important for anybody who relates to it as well, or if you relate to it all. And as well as, I think that in order to do all these things and other pointers in your life, you have to jot them down first. You jot them down if that is your most helpful way of actually taking note, and or take notes on your phone or in any way, shape, or form, or you really want to physically write it down like I did. And once you already have it all written down, you would be able to tell yourself which is or which are we have to most to least do first. You don't have to do all of these like overnight if it's hard for you, like the things that you've listed down, your weak points. And as much as possible, you have to be kind to yourself and actually complete them and make a promise to yourself as well. So, what I mean is that I have written down here 4 bullet points, weak points that I have to reflect on. So, first thing is I wrote it down, what I did, and you can follow this through. And what I did is I wrote it down, and then I eventually thought about it through, talked to myself. That is very important part of this process. Talk to yourself, write it down, and then eventually think of like think and prepare and reflect on how you would make a solution for it. And what you wrote down is very important, all of it. And it doesn't have to be one at a time. But if that is easier for you, for other people, then I guess that it is, and it has to be done according to your way, like according to how you want it to go about, if that makes sense. And for me, is that, yeah, I have slowed down my pace, take things slow, and then form boundaries. If I know myself, I'd have peace within, not to talk and say a lot of information, keep it low key and minimal. I like the word minimal. I have put it there as I've thought about it, and as much as possible, leave a space for mystery. And what I mean by that is to be more private and not secretive, but private with your life, as not everybody needs to know about your life, like everything that you are planning, that you are thinking, or you want to do next, or you know, let it be a mystery for your next move. And furthermore, along the line, I really want to take this on a record video, so I would go back to it and eventually have something to look forward to and to actually have as this is Tres. Yeah, I love him. He's the star of this video. And I am also planning to get up more shelves right here, and as well as to make things like have more information about this video. I have a bonus for this video. So, when it comes to employment, like people looking for jobs or wanting to be in jobs, I really believe that any job is okay. Any job is the same people that goes into these jobs. I know we can be picky with how the environment goes in a job. So, what I'm saying is that a job is a job. As long as it gives you the profit, as long as it gives you the benefits, as long as the profits and benefits and the return of investment, and as well as your time and everything else is being respected and that you're compensated very well, then I think there shouldn't be any problem. It's the same as when you go to a school. Let's say you graduated from high school and now you're transitioning to college or uni for some people, or university. It's the same as thinking of your colleagues, thinking of your classmates as a person that you don't want to deal with anymore. So you transfer to another class or transfer to another place, school, workplace. I believe that as humans, we have our complexities and we have our differences. We have some of our similarities. We all are going through life differently but similar in a way. So, what I'm trying to say here is that give it a chance. And the longer you stay, the more you invest in committing, is how you would see the rewards that comes after it. Maybe not in a form of tangible things, but also the intangible things. That's the reward that you could get from staying long in a place that may be hard. Yes, it can get hard. Maybe just when times get tough in a workplace, then you could just look for something else to lean into, like passion, compassion for animals, and as well as hobbies and interests that you always do, have always been doing, or maybe you've lost touch in your interests from before, like you don't go to the gym now and you used to go to the gym, so maybe try to do that again and have your mind shifted, the focus from not wanting to be in a place to staying in a place because after all, there's nothing perfect. There are almost perfect, like the animals that we have. There, for me, I'm just gonna put this in. I believe that animals are the most and the nearest to perfection that we have in the world, and how cruel it is to us humans to actually exploit them, hurt them, abuse them, or any sort of like taking advantage and power tripping over them. Is I'm very much humiliated by the human race for this. And on the lighter side, there is a lot of positive things that's already happening around the vegan side of the world, and hopefully for a vegan world furthermore. And a lot of dairy industries are now transitioning to plant milk, which is really great as well. A majority of coffee shops, coffee chains, and cafes are they all have the vegan option. So I'm really proud of that, and how far we have come through the plant eatery, the plant drink, and everything else. It's more sustainable for our environment, our culture, and our world, society, and overall environmental factors. So, another is if you feel like you cannot commit or stay in a place that you think that there is something a little bit off with it, try to have a different perspective too. It's not always just going to be that one perspective that you've seen of that place or that workplace. Maybe it could also have different other things too. So, besides having shifted focus for your passions and hobbies and whatnot, I think it's also very important to put in a clear and precise and shifted perspective as well. Because that is also a training ground for us to be strong and firm within ourselves. So if we know ourselves, that's where it comes in. We know ourselves, and I don't think anything should really affect us at all. Like the view of other people of us, how people see you, or how I think people see me. But really, not everybody has this quality. So as much as you are concerned with how people or society views you, I think society is also insecure of themselves, the society. But yeah, there is intimidation, there's a lot of those things. And I really think that it's pretty normal, and we're all thrives, just keep striving hard, and it'll all come through. One way or another, we'll get to our dreams, and that is what's important, to stay strong, stay firm, and be as comfortable being uncomfortable in places that you're not comfortable in, right? Be more uncomfortable right now and be more comfortable later. Think about it. And it's so nice to be back on track with what I do. And here I am, Kathleen, Kate. Here I am, Kathleen, as your mentor, your masculine girly, your evermore mentor and person of being your role model. I'll see you whenever. Ciao. Hey, do.